class 9. Today we'll start with chapter 10, magnetism. Okay, now I'm sure you had the basic concepts of magnetism in class 6. You had this chapter, right? So you have read about what are magnetic materials, those materials which are, can be attracted by a magnet, right? So if I have a magnet and if I have, say, paper, wood, and then say I have some iron keychains, which one will be attracted by the magnet? The iron keychains, right? Not the paper, wood, all those things. That means not all types of materials can be attracted by a magnet. Those materials which can be attracted by a magnet, we call them magnetic materials or magnetic substances. Those which cannot be attracted by a magnet, those are the non-magnetic materials or non-magnetic substances. Now, you have this all concepts like what about the natural magnet? You have read about this in class 6. Natural magnet, right? Artificial magnet. What is the purpose of making these artificial magnets? We can make magnets artificially also. Why? Because we can make those magnets according to the size which we want or the shape which we want. The strength, magnetic strength, we can change the magnetic strength according to our convenience if we make artificial magnets, right? So these are the you can say the advantages of artificial magnets over the natural ones. Fine. So you have read about how magnets, different shaped magnets like bar magnets, horseshoe magnets, it just looks like this. Horseshoe magnet. Then I've got a bar magnet. I can show you. I've got a bar magnet with me. Okay. So it has got two poles. Magnet always has got two poles. You have read about this also. North pole, south pole. Magnetic poles always exist in pairs. If we break a magnet, again the two broken pieces, it will develop its own north pole and south pole. It's not that if I break this magnet, one will have north pole, another will have only south pole. No. It will have its own north pole, south pole. It will have its own north pole, south pole. So basically the magnetic poles, they always exist in pairs, right? And what do we mean by this magnetic poles? I hope you remember that the extreme ends of a bar magnet where the strength of the magnet is maximum. The strength of the magnet is maximum. I'll just show you once. So I've got this steel clips with me. These are magnetic materials. So keeping them. Okay. So just see, when I'll be moving this over, see, they all got attached to it near the ends, right? So if I've got many more clips, you will find some will be attached here also, but maximum at the extreme ends. Okay. This activity was there in class 6 also. So the strength of the magnet is maximum near the poles. Near the poles, it's written over here, North Pole, South Pole. Okay, near the poles, the strength, magnetic strength is maximum. It gradually decreases as we move towards the center of the bar magnet, right? Also, we have another definition of the pole. Remember, if I suspend a bar magnet freely using a string, where will it point? The magnet, the bar magnet will align itself in the geographical north-south direction, right? Now, that end of the bar magnet which points towards the geographical north is the north pole of the bar magnet. And that end of the bar magnet which points towards the geographical south, I'm repeatedly telling this, that end is the south pole of the magnet. Why I am telling this, you'll be able to know gradually. In this chapter, we'll do. You have done in class 6 also. Okay. So, these are the basic concepts which I have already done. So, I just wanted to recap this. Now, in this class, we'll start with magnetism induced by bar magnets on magnetic materials. What does it mean? Suppose I've got this bar magnet with me. This I know this is a magnet. Now, these are some coins. Okay? Now, these are not magnets, right? Obviously, you know that these are not magnets. They are not attracted with each other, right? These are not magnets. Now, but this is a magnetic material, so it will be attracted by this magnet. Fine. Now, initially, this was not a magnet, so it will not attract this coin. But now, see? Can you see this? How is this possible? This coin is not a magnet. How did it attract this coin? That means, just see. Now just see. I remove this bar magnet, the coins will drop. See? So how is this possible? This is possible because this bar magnet, when it was in contact with a magnetic material, this has induced, that means this has developed, this made to develop in this coin opposite pole first. This south pole, we have got the south pole here, okay? So, it first develops when I am bringing this coin near to it. What does it do? It first develops opposite pole on this coin, north pole. So, since it develops this opposite pole on the coin, this coin, the magnetic material, we can say it induces. This magnet induces opposite pole first, right, on this magnetic material. Now this if this is south pole, this induces here opposite pole, that means north pole. That is why when I am bringing close to it, it's getting attracted to it. Because opposite poles attract each other and the like poles repel each other. It has become north pole. That means this is now south pole. See, this coin is now behaving as a temporary magnet. Temporary magnet. Why it's behaving like a magnet, we have just seen. Because now if I bring this coin, I'm not bringing it close to it, I'm just bringing to this coin. It's attracting this coin. That means this coin is now behaving as a magnet. That's why it is attracting this coin again. North pole, south pole. It will induce opposite pole here, north pole, south pole. Isn't it? Why am I saying temporary magnet? Because as soon as I remove this bar magnet, this coin loses its magnetic property and therefore the coins fall down. So this magnetism, which is acquired by a magnetic material, this was possible because the coin was the magnetic material. It's made up of a magnetic material. Not if I do it with the help of wood, it won't get attracted by the magnet initially. So therefore temporary magnetism won't be developed in the magnetic material, right? So whenever, if I keep a magnetic material near or in contact with a magnet, a temporary magnetism, temporary magnetic property develops in the magnetic material. So it starts behaving as a temporary magnet. So this phenomena is known as induced magnetism. Magnetism has been induced in the magnetic material. It was not initially a magnet. The coin was not a magnet. Magnetism was induced in it by the magnet, original magnet. So it behaved as a temporary magnet. Induced magnetism is temporary because as soon as we remove the original magnet, the coin lost its magnetic property. So it's temporary. And induction precedes attraction. What does it mean? That means the bar magnet, when I am holding the coin, I am bringing the coin near it, suppose it's north pole. it first induces opposite pole in the near end of this coin, which is brought near to it. That means if this is north pole, it will induce south pole here. That is why it can be attracted by the north pole now, not south. How is this being attracted to it? Because the north pole is inducing opposite pole to that side of the coin which is being brought near to it. Right? Induction, the process induction, right? Precedes means first induction, then attraction. Precedes means induction occurs before attraction. So we say that a magnet can attract a magnetic material. This is how it's happening. So it's bringing, if this is north, south, north, therefore if this is south, this is north, this will induce opposite pole in this, the side of the coin which will be brought close to it. That's why it's getting attracted again. So if this is north, this is south, this is north, this is south, this is north, isn't it? So induction always precedes attraction. That means before attraction there will be induction. Induction of the opposite pole. That means the bar magnet will induce opposite pole on the side of the magnetic material which is brought close to it. Right? So this was about the magnetism induced by bar magnets on the magnetic materials. Now, what is magnetic field? This also we have done in class 6. Suppose I am keeping this coin here. Right? Now, placing the magnet here. The coin is not getting attracted by the magnet. Right? Now it's getting attracted, see? Right? See again? Right? So what did I want to show? I wanted to show that all magnets have its, has its own the area in which it actually exhibits its magnetic property. So if I place a magnet, this magnet is here in my hand, and even if I place a magnetic material over there, it may or may not attract that. It depends on the strength of the magnet, right? So that means the region around the magnet in which the magnetic strength or magnetic properties will be faced or experienced, that is known as the magnetic field. Okay? So it may so happen that for this magnet, its magnetic field may be limited up to this or maybe up to this. So basically it's the region around the magnet or the space around the magnet in which we can, in which the magnetic properties or the strength of the magnet, basically the magnetic properties can be experienced. The magnet can exhibit its magnetic property, beyond which it cannot. Now, before I move on to magnetic field lines, fine, I want to first discuss with you magnetic field of Earth. Okay? Now, in class 6, remember, I'm sure you have done with your previous teacher, that when we say that, when we suspend this bar magnet freely using a string, we say that it points in such a way that one end points towards the geographical north, another end points towards the geographical south. And that end of the bar magnet which points towards the geographical north, we call it north pole of the magnet. The other end we call it south pole of the magnet. So, it is doing so, that means there must be some magnetic property exhibited by the earth which is actually trying to attract the opposite poles towards itself, isn't it? You imagine, that means if earth behaves, if earth behaves as a magnet, if we imagine that there is a bar magnet at the center of the earth, then only we are saying that the geographical north pole, the north pole of the bar magnet points towards the geographical north pole. That means what lies at the geographical north pole? Which pole of the bar magnet at the center of the earth? That means earth behaving as a bar. If we imagine earth is behaving as a bar magnet, okay, if we imagine earth is behaving as a bar magnet, then which pole of the magnet, earth's magnetic pole, which pole will be actually attracting the north pole? South pole, right? So that means if I say that the north pole of the bar magnet points towards the geographical north, that means the south pole of the earth's magnetic field, the south pole of the earth's magnetic field, that is actually in the geographical north. Otherwise, why is it pointing like that? Why is the north pole of the magnet pointing towards the geographical north? You understood my point? So you just imagine if you have two bar magnets, suppose if I have got north pole, see, it's moving on its own, I am not doing anything, it's repelling. But south pole, north pole, I am just trying to show you, okay, as much as I can. Suppose I have this bar magnet, south here, keeping it in my hand. Imagine my hand to be the earth, and we say that the earth is behaving like a bar magnet, as if the bar magnet is placed at the center of the earth. Say this is south, this is north. Now if I suspend this, another bar magnet, the original bar magnet, with the help of a string, and just see, I'm trying to put this S over here, it will automatically align itself. See, it's moving. Again I'm trying. See, north pole, it's aligning itself in such a way that the north pole is this side, north pole, south pole is this side. So basically that means, you imagine if the earth is behaving like a bar magnet, so we don't know which one is south pole, which one is north pole, but we know that this is the north pole of this bar magnet. So I am trying to, and this is a south pole. So if I just see, it's moving such a way that this is actually north, this is north, this is south, this side is north, this side is north, this is south pole. So understood? So basically that means the bar magnet, the north pole of the bar magnet is pointing towards geographical north. That means for the earth's magnetic, if we imagine the earth as behaving like a bar magnet, that means which pole of the earth's magnet, that means which pole. So therefore north pole of the bar magnet point towards the geographical north. So we have, for the earth, if earth is behaving like a bar magnet, then for the earth, the south pole is at the geographical north. Okay, so basically magnetic south pole of the earth is the geographical north pole of the earth. That is why. Also, if an iron rod is buried deep inside the ground, you will find that after a long time, if you take it out, it will start behaving like a weak magnet. That means earth has got certain magnetic property. It has induced magnetism in the iron rod, which is a magnetic material. So it was able to induce magnetism in it. That means earth is behaving like a bar magnet then, right? So these are the few various evidences. Now, so in fact, just see, this is a magnetic earth behaving like a magnet. Magnetic south pole of the earth, magnetic north pole of the earth. Geographical north pole, magnetic south pole of the earth, okay? Obviously, I have drawn this on the surface of the earth. So that means if I held a bar magnet, north pole of the bar magnet will point towards the geographical north pole, which is the magnetic south pole of the earth. South pole of the bar magnet points towards the geographical south pole, which is the magnetic north pole. Obviously, because opposite poles, therefore it is attracting it towards it. Opposite poles, therefore it is attracting it towards it. Simple. Now, why have I drawn it like this? Because it is found that the magnetic south pole and north pole, the line joining the magnetic south pole, north pole, what is the line called? What do we call the line joining the two poles of a magnet? The magnetic axis. So the magnetic axis of the earth, it is actually somewhat inclined with the geographical axis. It's not exactly coinciding. It is inclined to the geographical axis. This is a geographical axis. So this is a magnetic axis of the earth. Right? The magnetic axis of the earth is somewhat inclined with the geographical axis. What is this? Magnetic equator. The imaginary line drawn perpendicular to the effective length of the bar magnet. In class 6 we have learned. This is the magnetic equator. Okay. Now just see this diagram. See, can you see what are all this? These are the different positions in where magnetic needle, if we take a magnetic needle and just to understand how it shows the deflection in the various positions, we will find that at the two magnetic poles it's vertical, the needle will be vertical with the earth's surface.